Sarah McLeod, welcome back to Australian Musician.
Hello, Greg. How are you? Good to see you again.
Yeah. Today we're talking about Rock Legends Reborn 27 Club, which is a show you're appearing in. 27 Club, of course, is a group of famous musicians who died at the age of 27. Uh,
Yes.
so this show celebrates the music of people like Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. Have any of those artists been a particular influence in your life?
Yeah, but not till later. I didn't really listen to any of that stuff when I was young. I only knew the Doors because I was a huge fan of the movie The Lost Boys, and there was a band in it that did a cover of People Are Strange When You're a Stranger. I didn't even know it was the Doors. And then I went back and realized it was the Doors, and then I discovered the Doors. Um, Jimi Hendrix, I only really started. This sounds so bad because I just listened to different stuff when I was young, but I only started getting into Hendrix in the last maybe year. And I was like, hang on a minute. Like when I started like working out some of his parts, because sometimes you don't really appreciate the music until you try and play it yourself. And
Yeah.
then you go, oh my God, you can listen and go, oh, that's fabulous. But then you can, when you actually sit there and work it out and realize what's in it and how masterful it is, that's when you get the true appreciation for it. So I've actually been learning a lot from this 27 Club show. And also I didn't know the only Janis Joplin song I knew was Piece of My Heart, and that's only because Melissa Etheridge sang it. So like, I was like completely ignorant to the whole Janis Joplin history, which I now know, a lot about because I did a lot of research. So yeah, it's like rock and roll school.
The show is playing the Spiegeltent in Sydney as part of the Sydney Fringe Festival. It's already played the Adelaide Fringe. You were a part of that. How did the show go down with Adelaide audiences?
Yeah, good. I think we've done it 3 years now, I think. I
Okay.
think it's three. The first year was sort of, hello, we're the 27 Club. People are like, what's that? Didn't, like it did pretty well, but wasn't setting the place on fire. And then the second year, it just started smashing it. And then the third year, just we moved to a bigger venue, and I'm thinking this is weird because we're playing 6 nights a week to like a very large outdoor venue in Adelaide, and it goes for like 5 weeks or something. I mean, how can there even be that many? I'm sure everyone in Adelaide's seen it at least once. Like, it's amazing that it can keep pulling people, but people just have fun. It's a fun show. It's just a good night out, Grab your girlfriends and get a bottle of Chardonnay and kick your heels up and away you go. I mean, men can come too.
You had a broken foot, didn't you? One
Yeah,
year.
speaking of picking your heels up, I did. Yeah, I broke my foot, but the show must go on. So I got a moon boot and I bedazzled the hell out of it. So it looked kind of like something Kiss would wear. In fact, in hindsight, I should have got two and then I could have made it part of my outfit, but I just had one. So it was kind of hard to dance, but I was trying. I was still trying to jump off the drum kit. And I'm like, make sure you land on the good foot.
So, what is the funnest part of being in the show?
I just enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy being in a show that's got lots of cast members. I'm used to playing either alone or just with three guys. So to have like quite a large ensemble, especially a touring ensemble of fun people that's creative and different, to hang out with different people and to play fun music, like we didn't write it. There's no pressure on us to write anything. We just go out there and dance around and act like rock and rollers. And the kind of entertainment part of this show is quite a big part of it. Like as far as the presentation, like there's no, like normally in a band, you might play and you might kind of like rock around a little bit. The other guys might be like, "What are you doing, bro? Be cool." But in this show, everyone tries to outdo each other with their moves and everything. It's, oh, did you see that? Yes. Did you see what she did? Yes. Oh my God, did you see that move he did over there? So we all start like, watch this. So it's almost a parody of itself about how much fun we are having on stage, but it suits the vibe. But
Yeah.
and it's also contagious.
So, which artists are you involved in celebrating, or is that giving too much away?
What's giving a bit away, I think, Greg. But I have a little bit to do with. Actually, I have a little bit to do with everybody except Hendrix
Okay.
and Robert Johnson.
Yeah. Do you get to play a bit of guitar in the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I get
cool.
to play guitar solo too.
Do you have a favorite moment in the show?
It could be my guitar solo.
To
It's
have,
because I haven't actually written a solo for it. I just get up there and I know roughly, when I say roughly, like loosely what notes are in that key. And then every night I just go, okay, and in this moment of panic, I just go, Shazam, blah, 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 blah. And it's not a solo you'll leave whistling by any means, but it's a hectic jam.
what about the backing band? Have you brought people back to do this, or are they new people, the backing band?
The backing band is usually the Wanderers, which is an Adelaide band, really good Adelaide band who I love. And I often do solo shows with them as well. I've hired them to play as my band for certain solo shows, and they're good. They're really good. So this is elements of that band. Some people couldn't come, so we've had some subbies. So it's based on the Wanderers with some special guests.
Yeah. So is there any narration involved or storytelling, or is it pretty much just the music?
Oh no, there's script as well. There's script that we stay nowhere near close to. There's a script. Anyway, yeah, there is a script. It gets looser and looser, but there is a story.
Yeah. Kev Mitchell, you would have run into a lot in the past. What about the other cast members? Have you worked with them before?
I knew Dusty from, what was that band he was in? Oh my God, I forgot what they're called. Dusty was in a band whose name eludes me, and he'll kill me for this, but they supported the Superjesus years ago at the Gov in Adelaide. I can't remember the name, but anyway, they were great. And he turned up in a band called Wanderers. And then when I went to the 27 Club to start playing, I was like, I know this guy. And I realized he was from that band. Also, Cam Blockland, who plays guitar in the 27 Club, is now in the Superjesus. So, and I found him at the 27 Club. And my mum had said to me, when we needed a guitarist, my mum said, oh, my friend who lives next door to my mum, my friend's son's a very good player. I'm like, yeah, right, good one, mum. What would you know? Don't tell me what to do. And then when I went to one of the rehearsals and he's like, hey, I'm Cam. I'm like, hang on, this looks like the guy from the photo. And then he started playing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's him. And then we ended up getting on really well. So we asked him to join the Superjesus.
Cool. So have you played the Spiegeltent before? Has this show always been in the Spiegeltent?
I've always wanted to play the Spiegeltent, and I always look at the Spiegeltent as this mystical thing, the Spiegel tent. Like, is it just one tent? Are there many Spiegel tents around the world? Because you hear of this Spiegel tent being in Europe and, exotic islands. Like, it gets around. Are there many Spiegel tents? I don't even know, but I've never played in one. And I always feel like when you've hit the Spiegel tent, you've arrived.
Yeah, do you remember what you were doing at age 27? It would have been pre-Superjesus.
No, it was Superjesus.
Yeah.
Superjesus started when I was maybe 24.
Okay.
So I would have been I would have been peaking. We would have been probably at our massive 90s peak at when I was, what was it, 27? Yeah, I would have been touring maybe in America or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these artists fell for the rock and roll lifestyle of not looking after themselves. Have you been kind to yourself in your music career?
I tread a careful line, Greg. It's a delicate task, but I have managed the balance well, I think.
Yeah. Did you feel like you needed to read up on the artists prior to taking on the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I also wanted to be able to freestyle my script should the inspiration strike me. And I don't like just reading lines that I don't know what the history is. Also, we do a lot of press, and people say, hey, what about this? And you're like, oh, mate, that wasn't in the script. And then you just look like a charlatan who doesn't care about the backstory.
Yeah. Did you learn anything you were surprised about any of the artists?
I was surprised about how much they got done in such a short amount of time. How many records that they released, how many versions of songs they released, how many singles they put out. It was a lifetime of work in only a couple of years. Right? People work a lot slower than that these days.
Um, The show runs from 30th of August to the 29th of September. What have you got coming up after that?
I'm doing some spots with the Rolling Stones review. I am doing a Superjesus tour with Cold Chisel and Birds of Tokyo and Cruel Sea for Red Hot Summer. I'm doing some solo shows. I'm releasing a new single. Superjesus are releasing a new single. Oh, getting hot thinking about it. Oh, busy.
That's good to hear. So, why should punters come to this Rock Legends Reborn 27 Club show?
You should come to the show because it's a bloody good night out. It's entertaining. It's two, is it an interval? Is it an interval? It's educational and it's fun and it makes you want to get up and dance and it makes you remember all the songs that you'd forgotten about and it's inspirational because I had forgotten about these songs and ever since then I've been like, that's a good idea and it's been inspiring me to write new stuff. So you don't have to be a songwriter, but you will be inspired to rekindle the memories that you had when you were young, and that's fun.
Well, Sarah, we look forward to seeing you in the show, and thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much, Greg. Thanks for having me, and we shall celebrate all of the artists who are now rocking away in the Spiegel tent in the sky.